So another question related to topic work, power and efficiency. So as you can see in this question, a man can either take accelerator or a lift to travel up between the two floors in a hotel. So this man can have two possibilities. He can use accelerator or he can use a lift to move from one floor to another. The same floor, the distance between the floors is same. So the height which he has to move, that will be same. The accelerator take 20 seconds. So it is taking 20 seconds to move from one floor to another. And the useful work done, so they mentioned the work done is W. Like it can be any value, but they, instead of giving a value, they say that the work done is equals to W. Any variable, any number will be there. The lift take 30 seconds. So man, when he took the lift, it is taking 30 seconds to move this man from one floor to another and carry the man to a same height between the floor. How much useful work done against the gravity and how much useful power. So basically the work done is force into distance because the same person moving to a same height, so work done on the accelerator will be same as work done on the lift. So work done, if work done on accelerator is W, how much will be the work done on the lift? That will also be W. But what about the power? The power, as you know, power is equals to work divided by time. So the one which will take shortest time will have more power, and the one which will take more time will have less power. So they mention the power for the accelerator that is given by letter P. So what about the power of the lift? It is more than accelerator or less than accelerator or equal to accelerator. What about the power developed by the lift? More than P, less than P or equal to P? It is taking 30 seconds. It is taking more time. So the relation between power and time, if a person or if an object or if a machine is taking more time, means it will have less power because the value of the power will decrease. So lift is taking 30 seconds, the accelerator is taking 20 seconds. The power of the accelerator is P. So how much is the power of the lift? It will be less than P. So C will be the right answer for this. Is it clear? Because the power depends on the time. If you are taking more time to do any work, it means you are using less power. Why not A? Because when you check, the work done does not depends on the time. If I use the numbers, if I use the values, example, this is taking 20 seconds and the lift is taking 30 seconds. I'm using the numbers to explain the question. Say weight of the person is acting downward, which is say 600 Newton, and weight of this person is also acting downward, which is 600 Newton. And the distance between the two floors, example 10 meters, example. So when we calculate a work done by the accelerator, so work done is force into distance. How much force should be applied? That is equals to weight of the person. And what about the distance moved from one floor to another? That is 10. So 600 multiplied by 10, So what is the work done? The useful work done, that will be equal to 6,000 joules by the accelerator. What about the work done by the lift? So work done is force into distance. The force applied equal to weight of the person, and the distance is the same height. So 600 multiplied by 10, again we'll get 6,000 joule. So you can clearly see the work done by the accelerator will be same as work done by the lift. But what about the power? Because the power is work divided by time. So work done is 6,000 and the time is 20. So 6,000 divided by 20, that is equals to 300 watts. So the power which is generated or used by the accelerator is 300 watts. But what about the power for the lift? When we calculate the power, it is work divided by time. So work is 6,000 and the time is 30. So 6,000 divided by 30, which is equals to 200 watts. So the power generated by the accelerator is more because it is taking a short time. The power generated by the lift is less because it is taking more time. But their work done is same because the work done does not depends on the route, or it does not depends on the time. If we have the same force and move to a same distance, then the useful work done will be same. That's why if the work done by the accelerator is W, the work done by the lift will also be W. But if the power of the accelerator is P, the power taken by the lift will be less than P because it is taking more time and the accelerator was taking a short time. Is it clear, this question? Okay, another question. A 40-watt lamps. So there's a lamp, a bulb. This is a symbol which we use for the lamp or the bulb. So there's a 40-watt lamp. It weighs 34 joules of energy every second in the form of heat. What is the efficiency? So when we say 40-watt lamp, like you will find that there are different types of lamp: 40-watt lamp, 60-watt lamp, 100-watt lamp. What is the meaning? 40-watt lamp means it will take, or the input will be 40 watts. Then it is wasting. How much is wasted? 34 joules per second means 34 watt is wasted. So how much is a useful? If input is 40, out of 40, 34 is wasted. How much is a useful? So only 6 watts is a useful. And when we calculate the efficiency, the formula for efficiency is equals to useful power. If power is given, then power. If energy is given, then energy. Useful power divided by the total power and multiplied by 100. So this multiplied by 100 is actually, it is multiplied with, it's not multiplied with denominator, like you will be confused, but it is like useful power divided by input power, and that useful power is multiplied by 100. So useful power is 6 divided by 40, and that is multiplied by 100. So 6 divided by 40 multiplied by 100. So what is the efficiency? It will come out as 15%. So B will be the right answer. Why 40? Because the formula, what is the formula for efficiency? The formula for efficiency, which is denoted by N, is the useful output divided by total input. Total included the wasted one as well. The total multiplied by 100. So useful output is 6. The total input out of total 40, 34 is wasted. So total input is 40 into 100. That's why it is 15% efficient. Okay. Another question. A car traveling on a straight road has 1.6 megajoule of kinetic energy. Mega means 10 power 6 or 1 million. So at this point, the car is having 1.6 megajoule of energy, the kinetic energy. So how to get that energy number? So it will be 1.6 multiplied by 1 million. So it will be 160 1600,000 joules will be there. That is the kinetic energy at the beginning. It accelerates for 20 seconds. So it accelerates for 20 seconds means it changes the speed. So if speed change, the kinetic energy will also change. And the new kinetic energy is 2.5 megajoule. So the new kinetic energy one million. 1 million means 1 and 6 zeros should be there. 1.6 multiplied by 1 million. So you will get this number. Then the new kinetic energy is 2.5 megajoules. So 2.5 megajoule. So what will be the kinetic energy? Again, we multiply this 2.5 with 1 million. So this is a new kinetic energy. They are asking what is the average power output used to increase the kinetic energy. So basically they are asking how much power is used to increase the kinetic energy. First, what we have to do, we have to find the increase in kinetic energy. So what we can do to work out the increase in kinetic energy, we can take the difference of the two kinetic energies. So first it was 2.5 mega means 10 power 6 minus 1.6 mega means 10 power 6. So when we subtract, how we will get the increase in the kinetic energy or the change in the kinetic energy. So if I solve in terms of exponents, so it will be 2.5 minus 1.6, that is equals to 0.9. So 0.9 into 10 to the power 6 is the increase in the kinetic energy. But they're not asking increase in kinetic energy, they're asking average power which is used to increase the kinetic energy. So how to get the power? If we have the energy, the how much energy is used to increase the kinetic energy, so the formula of the power power is equals to energy divided by time or work divided by time. So how much is the energy? That is 0.9 into 10 to the power 6. You can use a scientific calculator, which are also allowed in exam. So you can write 0.9 into 10 to the power 6 divided by time. So how much time it took? It took 20 seconds. So that power will come out as 45,000 watts. And but all the answers are in, like two of the answers are in watt, but we don't have answer here because it is 45,000. So 45,000 watt is approximately equal, it is equal to 45 kilowatt. So C will be the right answer. Is it clear? Because in the question we have to calculate how much power is there used to increase the kinetic energy. So first we should get the increase in kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy was 1.6 into 10 to the power 6, and the final kinetic energy is 2.5. This is not the formula, this is the formula for power. Your power is energy divided by time or work divided by time. But as you can read the question, in the question they're asking what is the power output used to increase the kinetic energy. So we need the power which is used to increase the kinetic energy. So how to get the power? The increase in kinetic energy divided by time, or kinetic energy divided by time, or energy divided by time, will get the power. So this is the starting energy, this is the final energy, and this is a time interval. So how much is a change in the energy? That is 2.5 into 10 to the power 6 minus 1.6 into 10 to the power 6. That will give you the change in energy, which is 0.9 into 10 to the power 6. That is the change in the energy. And this change in energy divided by time, what we'll get? We'll get the power, which is 45,000 watt or 45 kilowatts. So C will be the right answer. Another question. There's an electrical motor. So there's an electrical motor. If there's an electrical motor, means it run with electricity or it work with electricity. So it means it will take which form of energy, like the thing which run with electricity, which form of energy it will take? What kind of energy it will take? The electrical motor, the input energy. Electrical motor, it is using electricity. Like example, even the fan is also example of electrical motor. So which form of energy fan taken? It will take in electrical energy. Then the useful one will be, because the motor is there, so it will rotate. The useful will be kinetic, and the wasted will be other form or heat, any other form. So they mention an electrical motor provide 900 joule of useful energy. So it provides 900 joule of useful energy and it is having an efficiency of 60%. We have to calculate how much electrical energy is supplied. Supplied means how much energy is input. So the formula for efficiency is a useful energy when we write the formula. Efficiency is denoted by letter N. So N is equals to useful energy multiplied by 100 and that is divided by the input energy. Efficiency is 60%, so here we have 60. The useful energy, it provides 900 joules, so that is useful, multiplied by 100 and input energy is unknown or X. So if input energy is unknown or X, so this X will be multiplied with 60 and 60 will come there in division. So this X will be equal to 900 multiplied by 100 divided by 60. So when we simplify, the 0 will cancel with 0. The 900 multiplied by 10, that is 9000. And that is divided by 6, so which is equals to 1500 joules. So C will be the right answer. Is it clear? This question? Shahzeb, Saim, Abdullah Khan, Afreen. Look, in the previous question, a car was traveling on a straight horizontal road with the energy, that is a starting energy 1.6 megajoule, and the new energy is 2.5 megajoule. So 1.6 megajoule means when we want to convert into joule, we'll multiply by 1 million. So 1.6 multiplied by 1 million. So 1.6 multiplied by 1 million, that is equals to 1600 and 3 zeros joules. So 1600, so 1600,000 joules is there. And when we convert 2.5 mega joule into joule, so 2.5 multiplied by 1 million, mega means 1 million, and 1 million is having 6 zeros. So 2.5 multiplied by 1 million, which is equals to 2500 or 2500 or 2500,000 joules. Now what we are finding, first we find the change in the kinetic energy to know how much change is there. So we subtract these two numbers. So that is equals to 900,000 joules. But we need a power. So to get the power, it is work divided by time or energy divided by time. So 900,000 divided by 20, which is equals to 45,000 watt. So 45,000 watt, but you can see one of the answers 45 watt, so it cannot be, or it can be 250 watt, it cannot be. So because it is 45,000, so we have to convert into watt. So we divide by 1000, so it will turn into be 45 kilowatt, because we want to convert watt into kilowatt, as the other two options are in kilowatt. That's why C is the right answer. A crane takes 2 minutes to lift 500 kilogram. Always remember, time should be in seconds. Here time is in minutes. So what we will do to convert minutes into second, we'll multiply by 60. So it will be 120 seconds. The mass, so if mass is given, mass is not the force. What is the force? Weight is a force. So it will be mass multiplied by gravity. The mass is 500 and the gravity is always 10 on earth. You take as a constant. So it will be 5000 Newton. So as you read the question, it look very simple. But when you try to solve, there are convergence and the height is 12 meter. So when we calculate the power, which is a work divided by time, so work is force into distance. So force is 500 and the distance, sorry, force is 5000 and the distance is 12. So 5000 multiplied by 12, which is 60,000. So 60,000 is the work done. But we need power. So 60,000 divided by the time. Time, like student, if they are not able to convert minutes into second, you will get a wrong answer. So it is 120. So 60,000 divided by 120, that is equals to 500 watt. So C will be the right answer. So you can clearly see that whenever we are lifting the object, if mass is given, you have to convert into weight. And time is given in minutes, time should be in seconds. Another question related to electric motor. So electric motor uses 1000. So what is this 1000? This 1000 is input or output. 1000 use of electrical energy and it is a motor, electrical motor. So this 1000, which is the input, and it provides 450 useful output. So 450 joules is a useful output. The question is efficiency. So how to get efficiency? Is a useful energy, I'm writing in short, UE multiplied by 100 divided by IE means input. So 450 multiplied by 100 divided by 1000. So these two zeros cancel with. So it will be 45%. So C will be the right answer. Okay. Another question. To calculate the power produced by a force, the size of the force must be known. So if you want to calculate a power, what else needed to know? Calculate the power, because we know power is equals to work divided by time, and work can be calculated by using force into distance. So we should know force, we should know distance, and we should know time. So they mention to calculate the power produced by a force, the size of the force is known. We know the force. But what other calculation we need? Do we need a distance? Yes or no? Yeah, we need a distance. Do we need a time? Yes, we need a time as well, because first we'll calculate a work by using force into distance and then divided by time. So to calculate a power, we need force, we need distance, and we need time as well. So this was topic 1.7. We have completed this topic as well. So quickly I will go through this topic, and it is not difficult topic. It's mostly related to this topic is mostly related to the understanding part, and few formulas are there just to memorize about kinetic, potential, work done, power, and efficiency. So energy, basically its ability to do work, its unit is joule or kilojoule. There are different forms of energy. Chemical energy, which is there in the food or the fuel, we have chemical energy. Kinetic, when anything is moving, will have kinetic. If anything is lifted to certain height, potential. Anything which glow will have light energy. Something which produce heat will have thermal energy. When anything vibrate will have sound energy. When the charges move, it will be electrical. When energy stored in the nucleus is called nuclear energy, which can be released by two ways: nuclear fusion, in which the lighter join to form heavy, and nuclear fission, in which the heavy break down into lighter. These are the two ways by which nuclear energy converted into other energies. Wind energy, when air is moving and it is the main source of energy is the sun. Strain energy, when object changes its shape, size, length, it will have strain energy. And according to law of conservation of energy, we cannot create energy, we cannot destroy energy. Basically, we change the energy from one form to another. So example, a waterfall, potential changes to kinetic and sound. Later will be sound. And if you want to calculate the kinetic energy, the formula is half mv square or 0.5 mv square. If you want to calculate the potential energy, the formula is mgh. Then energy resources, there are renewable and non-renewable energy resource. If energy which is produced at a greater rate as we consume, we call that as a renewable, like solar, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal. And non-renewable, the rate at which we use that energy is much higher as compared to rate at which it formed. So a time will come when we'll not have these sources to produce energy, such as fossil fuels, nuclear fuels are non-renewable. Non-renewable resources are better because they are not producing too much pollution to the, or not causing the environment, does not damage the environment, not polluting the environment. So non-renewable resources are more useful. We can use solar energy to generate electricity directly using a solar cell. We produce electrical energy, and so solar energy turned into electrical energy. We use solar panel and transformer. You have to learn the advantages and disadvantages. Then we can use a hydroelectric power station. The kinetic potential energy changed to kinetic, which rotate the turbine and connected with a generator produces electricity. Then windmills, directly it convert the wind energy, the kinetic energy of the wind into the electrical energy at the last. Geothermal energy, the energy from the earth core as a energy from the earth crest, basically released from the core, but we are taking from the crest to produce electricity. Then non-renewable energy resources such as coal, oil or gas. So first what we do, we burn them, it produces heat, we convert the water into steam, it rotates the turbine and produces electricity. So chemical energy changed to heat, then kinetic, and then the mechanical energy of the turbine and generator at the last, electrical. The block diagram means what we use. We use boiler, turbine, generator, and transformer. Then you have to learn the advantages and disadvantages. This is about the nuclear power station. So by nuclear fission reaction, we use the nuclear energy and turn into heat energy that convert the water into steam and produce electricity. So work, when we apply force on the object and the object move, we call work done, can be calculated by force into distance. When how much work is done in a unit time, we call that as power. So power is work divided by time, or energy divided by time. And efficiency is a comparison between the useful energy output divided by total energy input into 100. So it's a comparison that we compare, like compared to the useful input, how much is converted compared to the total input, how much of the energy or what proportion of energy is converted into useful output. So this was topic 1.7, and next week we'll start, means tomorrow basically we'll start topic 1.8, which is about the pressure, and that is the last topic of block 1. There are 5 blocks, and this is a lengthy block. Block 1 is a lengthy, the remaining blocks are very short. Any question related to the class today?